So today, we'll tell you the story of the liberation of Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. We'll tell you the whole thing in a nutshell because I want to finish the class by 8:15. So Caitanya Mahāprabhu, as we know, was the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who appeared in the role of a devotee. And after taking sannyas, Caitanya Mahāprabhu went to Jagannath Puri to have darshan of Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath means Lord of the universe. So when Caitanya Mahāprabhu, as I said, was playing the role of a devotee, so when he saw the form of Lord Jagannath in the Jagannath Puri temple, he just fainted, unconscious. One thing is, the other people in the Jagannath Puri temple did not know that Caitanya Mahāprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. By the Yoga Maya potency of the Lord, everyone doesn't recognize the true identity of the Lord when he appears on the planet. So, there resided in Jagannath Puri a very powerful Mayavadi preacher whose name was Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. His house was near the Jagannath Puri temple. So when Caitanya Mahāprabhu was lying unconscious, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya came and he, with the help of the watchmen and few other people, lifted him and took Caitanya Mahāprabhu to his house. Even though Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was a Mayavadi, he had some understanding. He had a good understanding of spiritual life. So he could understand that this devotee has fainted because of some ecstatic symptoms due to development of love of God after he saw Lord Jagannath. This is known as Adhiruddha Bhava. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya knew that this Caitanya Mahāprabhu is manifesting Adhiruddha Bhava, ecstatic symptoms of ecstasy, and he should be taken care of properly. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was trying to determine if Caitanya Mahāprabhu, after he was brought to his house, he was still alive or not. So he started testing his heart, different parts of the body. Nothing was working. So he thought maybe Caitanya Mahāprabhu is dead. Then he put a little bit of cotton next to the nose, and he saw that the cotton was moving. In Ayurvedic process, they put the cotton in the nose, and if the cotton is moving, then they know that the man is alive. And so he recognized that Lord Chaitanya was alive. He was unconscious, deeply unconscious, but alive. In the meantime, Nityananda Prabhu with all his devotees came to the Jagannath Puri temple looking for Lord Chaitanya. And when they came to the Jagannath Puri temple, they were told, one sannyasi came here and he became unconscious after seeing Lord Jagannath. So Nityananda Prabhu and everyone at once recognized this must be Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So they asked everyone, where has the sannyasi gone who became unconscious? So everybody said, oh, he's been taken to the house of Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Sorry. He's been taken to the house of Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. So they all went over there. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was in great anxiety how to bring Caitanya Mahāprabhu back to life. But Lord Nityananda and the associate of Caitanya Mahāprabhu knew the process. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya did not know. So when Nityananda, Mukunda Datta and all came to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house, they saw that Lord Chaitanya was lying unconscious. So they all started doing kirtan. And as soon as Lord Chaitanya heard kirtan, he came back to consciousness. And at once got up from his unconscious state and started chanting with the others and said, Hari, Hari, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was very happy. Actually, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, as I told you, was a very powerful Mayavadi scholar. He had a brother-in-law called Gopinath Acharya. So Gopinath Acharya knew that Caitanya Mahāprabhu is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many times he would have discussion with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, but Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya would say, no, he's not God. So he would not accept Caitanya Mahāprabhu's greatness. So then, after Caitanya Mahaprabhu came back to consciousness, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya told him, please take a shower. And after he took a shower, then he arranged for prasad to be brought from Lord Jagannath's temple. And they all had Mahaprasad of Lord Jagannath. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was in the Grihastha ashram. And Caitanya Mahāprabhu was a sannyasi. So even though Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya did not agree with Caitanya Mahāprabhu, still, out of etiquette, he knew sannyasi ashram is superior to Grihastha ashram. So, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya came to Lord Chaitanya and said, Namo Narayana. Namo Narayana means, I offer my respects to Narayan. And who is Narayan? You the living entity. In other words, in a nutshell, the Mayavadi philosophy is, you're God, I'm God, we're all God. And after death, we will become one with the big God. So we are as good as God. So when Lord Chaitanya was sitting, so Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya came and offered his respects and said, Namo Narayan. That means, you Narayan, I'm offering you my respects. But Lord Chaitanya replied by saying, Krishna Matir Astu. Krishna Matir Astu means, let our attention be drawn on Krishna. In other words, Lord Chaitanya said, you are saying we are all Narayan, but no, Krishna Matir Astu. Let our attention go towards Krishna, the Supreme Lord. In other words, explaining this whole thing in a simple language, it is as follows. Because many of you may not be very familiar with the difference between Mayavadi philosophy and Vaishnava philosophy, so I'll explain it in a little simpler language. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was saying everybody is Narayan. Narayan is another name of Krishna. So he was saying, I'm offering you respects because you're also God. But Lord Chaitanya was being very diplomatic because after all, Lord Chaitanya was in the house of Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. So Lord Chaitanya did not at once say, no, we are not all Narayan. But he in a nice way said, Krishna Matir Astu. You are saying we are all Narayan? No, let our attention go to Krishna. In other words, he clearly identified there was only one Krishna. So after then, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and Lord Chaitanya started talking, and it was realized that Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's father and Caitanya Mahāprabhu's father, grandfather, they knew each other. So even though Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was Grihastha and Caitanya Mahāprabhu was sannyasi, Caitanya Mahāprabhu was a very young sannyasi. He took sannyas at the age of 24. And Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was an elderly man. So though Caitanya Mahāprabhu was in the superior ashram, but because Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was elderly in age, he was treating Caitanya Mahāprabhu like a young child. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya told Caitanya Mahāprabhu, don't go and see Lord Jagannath alone. I will take you with me so that you don't faint again. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was very pleased by Lord Chaitanya's humility. He told his brother-in-law Gopinathacharya, this sannyasi is very meek and humble and is very attractive. So my affection for him is going up. Please tell me, in which sampradaya has he taken sannyas? So Gopinathacharya told him he had taken sannyas from the Bharati community. So Sārvabhauma said, oh, that is second-class sannyasi. In other words, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya wanted to give him sannyas. But Gopinathacharya told him the Lord Chaitanya is God. He doesn't need all these external symptoms of taking sannyas from individuals, such one sampradaya or another. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, Lord Chaitanya has taken sannyas at such a young age. How will he be able to keep the vows of sannyas? Because the vows of sannyas are so strict. Therefore, in the Vedic scripture that is recommended that sannyas should only be given in old age. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, if Lord Chaitanya wants, I can give him sannyas again. I'll give him saffron cloth. So Gopinathacharya and Mukunda Datta became very angry when they saw that Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was considering Caitanya Mahāprabhu to be just like an ordinary man. So there was a big dialogue. We don't have time to discuss it. There was a long dialogue between Gopinathacharya and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, where Gopinathacharya was saying that Caitanya Mahāprabhu is the incarnation of the Lord, and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was rejecting the credibility of Caitanya Mahāprabhu as God. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said another name for Lord Vishnu is Tri Yuga. Tri Yuga means the Lord incarnates in 3 ages, but not in Kali Yuga. But Tri Yuga doesn't mean that the Lord doesn't appear in Kali Yuga. What Tri Yuga means, the Lord personally appears in the 3 yugas himself, but in Kali Yuga, he appears in the role of a devotee. So anyway, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was completely convinced that Caitanya Mahāprabhu is a great person, but not an incarnation. Gopinathacharya quoted from the Mahabharata. Actually, in the Mahabharata it is said, do all of you know what is the Mahabharata? So the Bhagavad Gita is part of the Mahabharata. So in the Mahabharata it is said, the Lord will appear as one who is golden in complexion, whose entire body is very beautiful, and there's sandalwood smeared all over his body. and who will take to the fourth order of life and be self-controlled. Fourth order of life means sannyas order. And he will be distinct from the Mayavadis in that he will spread the Sankirtan movement. So, Gopinathacharya quoted this verse from the Mahabharata saying how Caitanya Mahāprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, Gopinathacharya and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya had a very intimate relationship. Sometimes Gopinathacharya would blaspheme Sārvabhauma. Sometimes he would flatter him. So, and similarly, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya also would sometimes argue with him and so on. So the devotee, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, Mukunda Datta and Gopinathacharya went to Caitanya Mahāprabhu and said, we are in great pain that the Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya is not accepting your supreme position and he talks of you like an ordinary person. But Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, don't worry, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya has great affection for me and he has done great service to me. So next day, Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya went to Lord Jagannath's temple again. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya wanted to give Caitanya Mahāprabhu a lecture on the Vedanta Sutra. So he made Caitanya Mahāprabhu sit down. And then he told him, do you know the Vedanta? A sannyasi's business is to study the Vedanta. So do you know the Vedanta? So Caitanya Mahāprabhu very humbly said, no, I don't know the Vedanta. So you must hear the Vedanta. And you must hear it from a superior person. In other words, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was clearly establishing that he is superior to Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So for 7 days continuously, day and night, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya spoke his commentary on the Vedanta to Caitanya Mahāprabhu, and Caitanya Mahāprabhu did not even say one word. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was surprised. 7 days he is hearing day and night and not one question or one word from Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, are you understanding what I'm saying? You haven't said one word. Has anything gone into your head? Or you're not understanding anything? Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, I'm just a fool. I can't understand the Vedanta. Because you have ordered me to hear the Vedanta, I'm hearing. But I can't understand it. I don't have the capacity to understand. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, I can understand that you're not understanding. But if you're not understanding, at least ask some questions. What type of sannyasi are you? You're not even asking any questions. You're not making any comments. I don't understand what is in your mind. You're not saying anything. Say something. Then Caitanya Mahāprabhu began to speak. He said, I can understand the meaning of every sutra in the Vedanta, but you have covered the meaning of the sutra just like the cloud covers the sun. Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, you are not explaining the real meaning of the Vedanta. You are covering the meaning to suit your own convenience. He said that Vedanta Sutra contains a summary of all the Upanishads. So the conclusion of the Vedanta has to be the same as the conclusion of the Upanishad, which is what that Krishna is the Supreme. So Caitanya Mahāprabhu pointed out how Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya is completely misled, is giving his own meaning of the Vedanta. Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, if you don't accept the Vedic teachings the way the Vedic teachings are spoken, then the power, the potency will be lost. He said that whatever is in the Vedas is true and it must be accepted without interpretation. And he gave the example of the conch shell and the cow dung. The conch shell and the cow dung are coming from the cow, from the animals, but materially it may be considered impure, but actually it is pure. Just like in every page of the Bhagavad Gita it is written, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Lord speaks. But when the Mayavadis translate the Bhagavad Gita, they say there is no such thing as God with a personality. So Caitanya Mahāprabhu pointed out to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya that he has completely misrepresented the Vedanta and hence he is unhappy with him. So then Caitanya Mahāprabhu began to explain the philosophy of the Vedanta. And then Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, okay, now here is Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was surprised to hear Caitanya Mahāprabhu's great knowledge. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya told Caitanya Mahāprabhu, please take this Atmaram verse of the Bhagavatam and explain its meaning. The Atmaram verse is in the 7th chapter of the 1st canto. So Caitanya Mahāprabhu said, no, first you explain. Caitanya Mahāprabhu, so Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya explained it in 8 different ways. Caitanya Mahāprabhu explained it in 18 different ways. Caitanya Mahāprabhu said the Lord is like a touchstone. The touchstone, even after touching iron, produces volumes of gold, but it doesn't lose its identity. So, when Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya heard Caitanya Mahāprabhu's explanation of the Atmaram verse, he realized that Caitanya Mahāprabhu is none else for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He fell at his feet and he composed in too few minutes 100 verses in glorification of Caitanya Mahāprabhu as the Supreme Lord. Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya was such a great scholar, in few minutes he could compose 100 verses. And then Lord Caitanya showed him his four-handed form. And then he showed him his form of Krishna. And then he came back as a devotee, Lord Chaitanya. So everybody was very happy when they saw, Gopinath Acharya, Mukunda Datta were very happy when they saw that Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya has been converted. It was just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya to personalism. He also converted thousands of other sannyasis to personalism. And he also converted the Muslim ruler to be a devotee of the Lord and made him vegetarian. So Prabhupada did the same thing. He went all over the world and converted the Mayavadis and the gross materialists to personalism. And as descendants of Prabhupada Sampradaya, we have to work to fulfill the order of Prabhupada. Just like 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya said, Krishna consciousness will spread to every town and village of the world, but then he left it up to Prabhupada to make that prediction come true. So similarly, Prabhupada also planted the seed in every corner of the world, and he left it up to all of us to take it to every corner of the world. So Prabhupada said, when he was first went to America, he said, you American boys and girls are the flower of the country and the future hope of our movement. So, we all have to take Lord Chaitanya's message to every town and village. Of course, Moscow is so big, you can have thousands of villages inside as one big city. So, we have a great mission ahead of us. To meditate on this pastime of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and Caitanya Mahaprabhu will empower you to do the impossible. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I preserve what my devotee has and I make up what they lack. So, if you make the effort, Krishna will reciprocate. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll take questions only for 5 minutes. Well, you're lucky if you can survive one day's fasting. You can try fasting for more than one day, we may have to call the ambulance. Well, I already explained that in the lecture that even though he was a Mayavadi, he was still an advanced devotee. It is not that the Mayavadis are not advanced devotees. He lives forever by the divine follower lives with him. And the follower lives with him. Prabhupada said, disciples should always act thinking his spiritual master is right next to me. Okay. You may know it in theory, but you have to put it into practice. We all know sense gratification is bad. We know it is poison. Still we drink poison. So just knowing is not enough. You have to beat your brain you have to hit your head every day with your shoe 100 times to keep the mind in control. If you chant every day, hear the Bhagavatam every day, associate with devotees every day, do service every day, then you are remembering that Krishna is God and you are not the enjoyer but you are the servant. Okay? Hare Krishna. Okay, fasting more first. Okay. I'm back. Have to hurry up now. Devotees have to go on a marathon, so you can ask your question. Only after night, wash So, okay, I hope that all of you will go out on the Sankirtan marathon. If you cannot be a big general in the army, at least be a small, ordinary soldier in the army. The full-time generals are busy distributing and dropping hundreds of bombs. At least you devotees can drop small bombs. So do something at least. So, our guideline is, every devotee should go out, whether you're a pujari, cook, anything, and distribute at least, at least distribute for a half an hour or 1 hour every day. Drops of water make the ocean. So all of you even do little book distribution, slowly there will be a flood of love of God. So I'll give the class again now tomorrow evening and Sunday evening. But tomorrow evening at 5:30 some big scientists are coming. So give a lecture to the scientists upstairs and then class in the temple after Arati, and then on Sunday also in the evenings. Sunday in the evening I'll give 1 o'clock, 5:30, Caitanya Mahāprabhu's pastimes and more. After Arati, Gita. Okay? So please go out and do book distribution and I'll get your scores from you tomorrow evening. Krishna Kumar Prabhu says there is a big problem. You want to know what the problem is or you don't want to know? You want to know what the problem is? The koi problem? We don't have enough devotees for a Prasad for Life program. And if you don't have enough devotees for Prasad for Life, even your devotees will not get Prasad tomorrow. So you remember, day before yesterday in the Easter Goshti, I told you how now we are starting in Moscow the Prasad for Life program. So starting from Monday, we are starting this Prasad distribution program, giving Prasad to hungry people. So we need some devotees who will make a commitment to work for 2 months. Very high salary. Payment in currency, not in rubles. Spiritual currency. You'll get mercy of Lord Sri Krishna. So how many devotees want to volunteer for this? Higher. Make sure you show your faces and hand to Krishna Kumar. All hands look the same, but the faces are different. So Krishna Kumar, you should see their face and hand both. So your devotees will work for 2 months on this Food for Life program. They know Mataji's volunteering. No Mataji's wanted to help in this program. There's so many Matajis sitting there. Any Matajis who can volunteer for this? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare